Hello YouTube, it's Val. Today we will be doing a tier list of what I believe to be one of the best things in Dead by Daylight, the memento moris. The memento moris are an offering in Dead by Daylight that look a little bit like this. They are a secondary way that a survivor can be eliminated from the match, with each killer having their own unique mori style. And today we'll be ranking them from best to worst in a tier list. Please keep in mind that this is only going to be of my opinion, and that may be completely different to your opinion, but I would absolutely love to know what your favorite mori is if you want to let me know down in the comments. But I think we have spoken enough. Let's jump straight into this tier list. Let's start from the top. Let's start with our Mr. Trapper. Okay, so the Trapper's mori. Not bad for it being the very first mori in the game. However, I think he is long overdue for a rework in terms of his mori. It is pretty basic. I would love to see them implement maybe his traps or something into it. But for now, unfortunately, we're not going to be off to a good start, and I am going to have to put Mr. Trapper's mori in D tier. Okay, now for the Wraith. Unfortunately, his mori is very similar to the Trapper's. Just with kind of less motion with the hitting, I think. Again, released at the start of the game, definitely in need of a rework. If they could maybe incorporate his power somehow into that too, I think it would make it that much better. But I think for the moment too, based on it being so basic and whatnot, I think we will have to also put our Wraith in the bottom there next to our Trapper. But you never know, it could change. It could change one day, and then we may have to revisit this. But for now, he's gonna have to sit in D tier as well. Now, let's look at probably my favorite killer in the game, our Hillbilly. I haven't actually timed how long it is, but it does seem as though Billy's mori is shorter than the first two. I'm kind of indifferent with it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I think it could definitely be better for Billy. But in saying that, I don't think it's the worst. It is a little bit short, though, I noticed. Compared to the other two so far, and maybe some later on too. We do have a bunch of killers left. I think I'll have to put Billy's mori in C. I think so. I'm sorry, Billy. All right. Time for the nurse. Now, the nurse is not someone I play very often on my stream. I only ever play her when it is redeemed via channel points or a Streambeats card or something like that. However, let's check out her mori. I straight away will say it is already going to be above the ones we have seen so far. I think it is a very unique mori, and I also love the way that she goes in for the caress of the face at the end of it as well. I think for the nurse, I'm going to put her A tier. I'm going to put her mori A tier, I think. Yeah, I think that is where we are going to put her. Next up, we have the Shape, also known as Michael Myers. Now let's see what his mori entails. For our Michael Myers, I think I will give Mikey B tier. I think he would have to sit around B tier. solely because, again, it is pretty simple in terms of the Mori, but it does stay true to him and to the movies, and I think all in all, it is a nice little nod to the movies as well. I don't think it's quite as good as Nurse's Mori, definitely not as basic as the other ones though, so I think he's gonna sit nicely in B tier, kick off B tier, alright. And now we have the Hag. Okay, the Hag. Definitely on the more gory side of the Moris that we've seen so far, going for the attack, ripping out the insides, all of that. I think it does stay very true to her character, very unique as well. I'm a big fan. I think she'll sit nicely in A tier with Nurse. I don't really see her needing like a rework, maybe graphic wise. But then again, that could potentially be too much for the game itself. But I quite like it. I must say, I quite like it. We'll put her in A tier. So far, no one has broken into that S tier yet. Let's see if any of them upcoming will. Damn! Alright, the Doctor's is really something, isn't it? Now he goes in for using his power. I think he's one of the first killers that we've seen that we have seen so far on the tier list that actually kind of incorporates his power into it. Maybe besides Myers, Billy a little bit does as well, I guess. But I think he's the first one to really use his power for the Mori itself, which I think is really neat. I also do like that they did add his little chuckle in there at the end, as if he is happy with himself afterwards. He would also sit in A tier for me. I do quite like his Mori. I do. I think I do. Now for our Huntress. Let's take a look. Ah! So the Huntress's Mori, I want to love it. I so badly want to love it, but I just don't. I'm not quite there yet, you know. I do really like the way that, you know, she goes in for the first hit and then stops afterwards to kind of think about, should I do it again? And she goes, yeah, let's, before just continuing to go. But it just doesn't compare to the ones up here on the top, you know? I don't even know if I would put it with Myers. I'm torn between B and C though, I think. It's not quite as basic, I think, as those in D tier so far. But I am just kind of torn on if we're going to do B or C. I think I will put Huntress's Mori C with Billy, also in C based on the shortness of the Mori. It only incorporates the one weapon of hers, nothing to do with her hatchet, so not her power. So I think due to shortness and there potentially being some wiggle room there to make it a bit better, she's going to sit nicely in C tier. Damn, okay. Bubba's Mori is really interesting, I must say. Poor Steve just copped it there, basement and all. But I'm gonna straight up say he's going in A tier. It's got a little bit of everything, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that his is the first Mori we've seen so far that incorporates both his M1 and his power into the Mori as well, with like a little bit of a tantrum celebration there at the end that he has killed the survivor. All in all, I really like it. I wouldn't put it S tier. So far, nothing has quite broken into S tier, but I would definitely say A. Yeah, I would say A. Now moving on to Freddy. Okay, So Freddy's Mori. Now, as you just seen, it was on the notorious Hawkins National Laboratory, a map I never liked, and we did record that prior to it being deleted back in November of 2021. So I have had that footage for a while there, and we wanted to see if we could capture it with him kind of coming out of the wall like that, and I think the setting of it made it kind of even better. I do really like Freddy's Mori as well. Damn, they're just all going to end up in A at this rate, aren't they? I'm almost half torn to put Freddy's Mori in S tier because I really like it. A nice little nod to the movies, the outreach with the claws straight towards the camera there, and then he, stepping through at the end. Whoo, do we have our first person in S tier? I think we might. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Ah! No, I have decided on no. He is going to sit in A tier. Now this is going to fill up quite fast, I think. I'm going to move on to the pig. So the pig's Mori. I won't lie, I'm not a real big fan of her Mori. Only because I am a big fan of the Saw movies, and everything, and I think it could be done just that little bit better if they incorporated like the traps or Billy's giggle that you can often hear trying to get the traps off. Anything including the reverse bear trap, honestly, I think could have made it that much cooler. Maybe she will put it on and then set it off itself before you hear Billy's giggle or anything like that, really. But to just use the knife, I think will kind of bump it down a few points. To me, I would say that the pig will sit. I'm honestly gonna put her Mori in D tier. Time for the clown. Alright, the clown's Mori are definitely super interesting and unique. One of a kind, specially made just for him by the looks of it too. Kills a survivor, then eats their finger. I think his Mori will have to sit in B with our Myers, mostly because of how uniquely gross it is. I don't think there is a better way of putting that. It is just uniquely gross. Very, very clown, very gross, just a lot happening at once. Definitely not A tier, not up with these guys, not S tier. I think he's gonna sit nicely in the middle there. Okay, so we actually really like the Spirit's Mori. I also think it was the first Mori we got that wasn't in first person for the killer while the Mori was happening as well, which also gives it bonus points because as we recorded all these previous ones, I've done it from the killer's perspective. I didn't go back in to also get it from the survivor's perspective. But I think from here on out is when we started to get them all from the one third person perspective, which I really love. I enjoy her one as well because you get the phasing in there too from her before she starts laying into you. I think I will put her in A tier. We're still yet to break into that S tier, but I do really like her Mori, so I'm gonna pop it in A tier, and now we're gonna have a quick look at the legions. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I do like that this is kind of the first time we have a Mori where the survivor is kind of fighting back per se, trying to get away. I also love that first hit that they try to go with does completely miss as well. I think we will put the Legion in B tier. I wouldn't put it any higher or any lower. I think it sits just nicely in B tier. Now that is gross. Damn. All right. I quite like her Mori as well. I definitely don't hate it. You get the nice smack over the head to start before copping the vomit to the face as well. Whew, this is a tough one. I think I would put it in B tier too. B tier is starting to catch up a little bit to A tier, but I don't hate it. Not obsessed with it. Yeah, B. Now, one of my other favorite killers in this game, the Ghostface, has to be what I think one of the most iconic Moris ever. Let's take a look. Nice! That Mori it gets better and better every time you see it, truly. It's the way that he kind of stops at the end to like check the photo to make sure it turned out right. It's just like a split moment of a pause there before he turns it off, puts it in his back pocket and continues about his day. It's great. It's great. We have our first S tier. We have our first S tier, guys. He has to be the first one to take it, truly. Oh, poor Steve. Steve copying it again. Damn. I quite like Demo's Mori too, to be honest with you. I don't think it's quite on par with Ghostface's, but it is definitely up there. Pretty high on the tier list. He does have to sit at A. I love it. Big fan. Big fan. Whoa! Okay. The Oni's Mori. Whew, boy. Yeah. There's a lot to take in there, isn't there? There is a lot to take in. The ripping out of the tongue, being hit over the head, being stabbed, what was that, through the neck? Oh my goodness, there was so much that happened there. Great Mori though. Another A tier for me. Really great Mori. Another one for the A tier. Big fan. I don't know. I really love the ones that also are from the third person perspective now for both survivors and killers. So I think that may be a big deciding factor as well in some of these, honestly. But hey, I don't know. If it's good, it's good. But we're going to check out the Executioner, also known as Pyramid Head. Another great Mori there. I don't think he quite sits in A tier. It is a little bit more on the shorter side too, as well as some of the other ones in our lower tiers. Great for the character, but yeah, just a little bit short, I think. I would honestly... unpopular opinion, but I am probably going to pop this in C tier, I think. Wowie! The Blight's Mori. Whew. I'm honestly going to put him in S tier. I quite like the Blight's Mori. I honestly haven't seen it very often as well. I don't know if I just don't tend to verse a lot of Blights, or if I just don't see the Mori very often, or kind of what's happening there, but I don't know. Every time I see it, I'm kind of like taken aback of like, oh yeah, that is his Mori. That's pretty damn cool. But I'm gonna put him in S tier next to our Ghostface. Now we're gonna check out the both Moris of the twins because they are more different than the other ones that do have variations of them. We're gonna check out both the one with and without Victor. We just see the two of them there. I am going to put these together rather than having two separate twins ones. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the Mori with just Charlotte. I think it's super basic. Honestly, if they were separate, her one by herself would be in D tier. But because we are putting them together, I think the one with Victor is really, really cool, really well done. I think all in all, I would have to put her in B tier. One of my favorite Moris in the game, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, right after Ghostface's. This is just straight away going straight up into S tier. It's so good. It is so good. It is his character personality, hands down. It has the confidence of him being like, well, the job is done, moving on with my day kind of situation. Throwing the blades with style and everything. You get the zoom in close up of him too. It's just really well done. I quite like it. S tier. You don't even really need to talk about it that much because it's that good. S tier. Okay, so Nemi has a very interesting Mori, I must say. It is pretty basic in terms of like the actual death per se. However, if you've noticed or just heard it, when he does Mori Jill, he does say stars, just like in Resident Evil. So extra bonus points for that, honestly. I think he will sit nicely in B tier. I kind of don't love it, don't hate it, but yeah, B tier for our Nemi. Damn! Pinhead's Mori is very brutal. Again, another one that is a fantastic nod to the movies themselves. I couldn't put it S tier, but with the ones that are up there, I could not put it S tier. But it is a great Mori. I think he has to go in A tier. I like the way that it all just works. The survivor gets dragged into the depths of hell when they're done. Now, last but not least, for the moment, we have the artist. I love it. I love it. Just such a great Mori. The way that the birds sit there on the end and just like pick at the body as well. It was so well done. You see the one crow go jumping out of the body as well, and then them all just swarm her. I think she will have to go in S tier as well. Which means that we ended up with having 4 killers in S tier, which I honestly didn't think we were going to have that many. The only one I was really sure on was going to be Ghostface, sitting up in S tier. The others I did not really think about prior to this, but I am a sucker for Ghostface's Mori, so it was always going to be an S tier, I think. This is everything up to date. Let me know what you guys think. Did you agree with this tier list? Do you disagree? Would you change anything? Let me know. I really want to hear what you guys think. And also if you guys like these tier list kind of videos. I had a lot of fun doing this. That is it for now. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, look after yourselves. And if you're interested, come and hang out in my streams. I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and I hope to see you there. Thanks guys, bye.